Chiefs Kingdom. The Chiefs have made a big trade to secure a QB2. I'm going to give you some instant reactions and let you guys vent about it. Let's go. So the question has been, what are the Chiefs going to do about QB2? And that has been solved today, just a few minutes ago. Tom Pelissero reports there has been a trade. The Jets are sending quarterback Justin Fields to the Chiefs, according to sources. They then come out and said that the Chiefs will take on $3 million of the $10 million that Justin Fields was guaranteed in 2026 per source. So the Jets effectively offset both the cash and the pick they gave up to get a new starter in Geno Smith by moving last year's starter in Justin Fields. This is a pretty good move by Brett Veach and the Chiefs. It's also something that was a little unexpected. I don't think this was on a lot of people's radars. They're basically giving up a 2027 next year, a 6th-round pick, and $3 million of cap hit for Justin Fields. Mahomes, I think, is going to be here week 1. I don't think that's going to be a problem. I think Mahomes is going to be throwing the rock. He's going to be ready to roll around June or July. He's going to be cleared for football. No doubt about it. But this puts a guy that's mobile. It puts a guy with a decent arm. Somebody that's ran a pro-style offense-esque at Ohio State. Look, he's been a journeyman, but he did look decent the past few years at times. I think it's a decent move here. I don't think there was much actually on the free agent market there. They're just Steve likes Sam Howell. There was a few guys there that was okay. I think Kirk Cousins was going to cost a little bit too much. There wasn't just a lot there, and you couldn't be excited about Chris Oladokun going into anything. You couldn't be excited about Jake Haener. You had to give something. But it's a 2027 6th-round pick heading back to the Jets in exchange for Fields, and the Chiefs are going to take on $3 million of that salary. So the Jets are taking on $19 million of dead cap per this trade, including $7 million of a guaranteed salary. So the Chiefs are going to pay 30% of his salary in 2026. Look, I think it's a pretty decent deal. I think if you combine that with what we had in the QB room, if you combine that with all the new details that came out over the Kelsey contract just yesterday and Brett Veach pretty much avoiding void years and adding on like a $40 million fake, some kind of a move here where Kelsey gets spread out over $3 to $4 million essentially for the next 3 years, and they're basically going to cut him after June 1st of 2027 2027, and then he's basically going to just retire. It's kind of a crazy move. Brett Veach is like getting wild with some of these. He's getting very creative. Let's put it that way. Getting very creative. So let's get to the chat. Appreciate all you guys coming in right now. This just happened out of nowhere. So I've got about 15, 20-ish minutes to talk. That's the rundown of the deal. I want to get you guys some instant reactions from the chat. I'm curious to hear what you guys think about it. I want to hear what you guys think. Vent about it. Let me know what you think, and I'll bring these up, and we'll just talk about them. Wheezy says, "What's up, Mike? Not sure how I feel about this move." Look, I think you have to be a little optimistic here. I think Justin Fields has got to be better than what we have. $3 million is super cheap for a backup of his quality, I think. And I also think coming in, working with Patrick Mahomes, working with these coaches, working with Bieniemy, working with Andy Reid inside this offense, I think it only is positive for Justin Fields and positive for the Chiefs. I think it's a win-win from both of them, and $3 million is just not bad. Eichhoff says $3 million is not bad. Chiefer in the house. What's up, Chiefer? The work you do here is amazing. He says, I love it. Doc Hollywood says, I like this move. Andy will work his magic. Yeah, man. I like it here. I really do. Cell32 says a show with y'all, Maddie Lane and Verderam would be cinema. Verderam come on the show once, or not on the show, but he come into the chat and said he wanted to come on. And then we just kind of lost contact, never really got back with him. Maddie Lane's been on this show a few times talking about draft. Would love to have him back during draft season, but yeah, that's a good idea. High 3 Space Taker says worth it. It's worth it. I agree. Yeah, Justin says Mahomes was walking really good at the Big 12 tournament and standing really well as well. Yeah, I think the big thing about that knee, too, is when you're doing those rehabs, it's the getting up and down out of the chair. And he looked as he was doing it without a lot of upper body stability support. So hopefully that's coming along pretty well, man. Let's see. Let's go down through here and see what we got. KY says Vegas gave the Jets Geno in a 6th, 7th pick swap just to have the Jets give us Fields for a 2027 6th and paying the majority of his salary. No wonder the Jets are perennial losers. KY, you are right. The Jets are a cluster F in the front office. That's all they are, man. It's just a losing culture. They just cannot do it. Live a lot, Timmy. Live a lot, Timmy. I don't know. Live LA Timmy. Timmy, let's just call you Timmy. Says, I like the trade. Great QB2. James, I like it. Good for the Chiefs. Michael says, Fields is the best young QB2 available. And Freezy in the house says, lovely signing. Look, I think it's a good signing. I think it's something that plays in well with what we have going on right now. Justin Fields has not had the best career so far. It's been a lot of a roller coaster, but he does have elite athleticism. He's inconsistent with his passing. That scares you in a passing offense, right? But he was drafted number 11th overall to Chicago. Revolving door of coaches. Just a piss-poor offensive line year in and year out. He was a pretty good rushing threat there. I think he had 1,150 yards, somewhere around that, give or take, in 2022. I think with Pittsburgh in 2024, there were signs of improvement in that passing efficiency, in that passing game. He cut down all of his turnovers. But, of course, they ended up going with Russell Wilson, I think. Was that who it was? Russell Wilson, which was really weird. Kind of putting him on the bench, kind of sealing that deal. And then the Jets came along. He started 9 games. Threw for about 1,300 yards, 7 tutties, but only 1 pick. So he still kept those turnovers low. His incompletion percentage improved, I think, that year to like 63%. And then, of course, he had that knee injury, kind of cut it short. But he's looking more and more, and in 2025, he looked like a more disciplined passer out there. He just wasn't slinging it around. He wasn't being careless with the ball. He had 3-4 pretty solid to great games with QBRs over 75 to 80. He was executing the script well. He was he was getting run support, everything about it. Just the turnover rate was the big one. But I think because of Patrick Mahomes' recovery here from the ACL, LCL, I think you did have to make some kind of a move just in case there's a setback. Like, I fully expect Patrick Mahomes to get back, but there could be a small setback. There could be anything. Like, you cannot take that risk with just Jay Kaner and Chris Oladokun. And look, Oladokun's fine, but we've seen him at the end of last year. We couldn't even hardly pick up a first down. It was pretty bad. And then Jay Kaner, come on, like, the kid's got some decent traits, but he's never done anything beyond decent traits. That's just the way it is. Fields, though, is a heavy RPO kind of guy. That fits right in. We're signing Kenneth Walker. You take the heat off of him there. He don't have to sling it around as much. That could work out in our favor. It kind of reminds me a little bit of having Andy Reid go back to the Michael Vick era. I feel like this is a Michael Vick-esque quarterback for Andy Reid. So he's been in this position before. People might call me crazy, but and I'm not saying Justin Fields is Michael Vick, not by any means, but it's that level of quarterback. It's that game. And I think just giving up a future late round pick and taking on $3 million, I think it's a starting caliber quarterback, QB2, that if he has to keep the ship steady while Mahomes heals, I think that he's more than capable of doing it. I like the pick. I think it's going to be completely fine. Again, you guys let me know what you all think in the chat. I'd love to read your all's thoughts. Real Hoop says, great move, quality backup QB. We going to keep it simple and run the ball. Yeah, they're going to keep it simple, man. You don't go out and you pay Kenneth Walker III that much money. It was even reported just a few days ago the Chiefs were in Arkansas. Bunches of scouts in Arkansas. We were watching Julian Neal corner, and no doubt, they were watching Mike Washington Jr. as well. There's been some people saying Mike Washington Jr. could be RB2, could be RB3 behind Jadarian Price, could be RB4 behind Jonah Coleman, depending on who you ask, but he's right there in that 2 through 4 range is what I'll say. And I think Jeremiah Love is going to be the only running back that gets drafted in round 1. Somebody will fall in love with a Jadarian Price or Jonah Coleman or Mike Washington, and you could get one of those guys in round 2, like late round 2-ish, maybe early round 3. But honestly, you may not get a running back, the second running back off the boards, Jadarian Price, you might not even get that to round 4 in this draft. It wouldn't surprise me. So there's plenty of options to pick up more running back depth here, some more speed, some home run hitters. You got Katron Allen. You got any guys like that in round 4, round 5. It wouldn't surprise me if the Chiefs picked them up. It also wouldn't surprise me if the Chiefs just overlook running back altogether, maybe bring back Kareem Hunt on a 1 year. Who knows? But it looks like they're going to try to do all this. They're going to try to get it together, and they're going to try to change the mentality of the football team a little bit. And I do think they are going to be running the ball more. It's going to be run the ball, play action, RPO, same old same. But I think with Justin Fields, you feel a little bit more comfortable than Mahomes now. I would almost want to get Mahomes out of the scrambling for his life 24/7 kind of thing. But, yeah. Brian says, I thought for a second you were about to say the Chiefs were looking at Taylon Green, quarterback. I'm sure they obviously were watching him. They were watching him. Maybe they seen something they liked. Maybe they wanted to bring in Justin Fields and be like, look, what does Justin Fields look like? Could we see ourselves with the Taylon Green? Could they do it? A lot of people are wanting to take him out of the QB role. He had some words about that too. He turned it into just something wild. But I don't think that's the case. I think there's just a lot of times you just see a player with that athleticism and then somebody that doesn't really throw the ball very well, not very accurate, can't make a lot of NFL throws, and you say, look, do you want to be successful in the NFL? You might want to switch your position. You're very athletic. You can do that. I think that's a compliment to tell a guy that's a quarterback that, hey, go be a tight end, go be a wide receiver. You could be amazing in this league. That's pretty crazy. That's praise right there for somebody that's never did it. They think you can come in and do that. It's pretty awesome. Two-bomb from Tony in the house, baby, says at running back we still have Dameon Pierce. I don't think Dameon Pierce is under contract, is he? I didn't think he was under contract right now. Now, I could be wrong, but I was thinking Dameon Pierce was only on for 2025, and we had to come in and re-sign him back up. I could be wrong about that, but I'm almost positive. Let me find him on Over the Cap and see if he's here. Okay, so it says right now, it says that he is... They don't have it on here. Ain't that something? Okay, well, let's go to Spot Rack, Dameon Pierce. Spot Rack, Dameon Pierce, let's see. Yeah, it says he signed a 1-year deal with the Chiefs. He's a free agent in 2026. So he's a free agent right now, guys. He's not on the team. He's not been signed. So, yeah, we don't have Dameon Pierce, brother. A lot of people's wanting him, but he's just not on this roster right now. So, yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to bringing him back. I thought Dameon Pierce got an unfair shake here. I think he should have been playing a little bit earlier and seeing what he had. Weston says also the Chiefs have somebody to do QB sneaks. Hey, look at that. Is the $3 million enough for the QB sneak? I think so. Rock Chalk Chief says, I love this move. Absolutely. It's a great move. In my opinion, I think it's good. Damo, been a member for 20 months, says wide receiver 3 just signed. Time for trick plays. The wide receiver 3 is in the house. Dude, let me tell you something. I honestly think this is a pretty good pick. Now, the one thing is like, or a good trade. I'm sorry, not a pick. The 6th round pick for me, I didn't want to dig into the 2027 draft a lot. So I think that's a very good draft class. Brett Veach has now give up a 6th round pick, which is not crazy. You don't think that at a 6th round pick you're getting a starter, but that takes ammo for Brett Veach to move up a little bit here and there throughout the draft. So But I think it might be deep enough that he maybe doesn't have to move around the board that much. He's got plenty of options. So it's crazy how it works and how it's been going. Schefter has come out recently and said that he does have to pass his physical. Of course, we've seen what the Ravens did with Max Crosby and this and that. So it's being reported there was a lot of other teams kind of interested in Justin Fields, trying to make the trade for him. So we'll see what happens here. I think it was pretty good. I don't see nothing wrong with it. I think Brett Veach is actually having a pretty good offseason this year. I think he's approached free agency differently. I think we've seen it with the coaching staff. We've seen it all around. I think the Chiefs have approached free agency a lot different this year. They've seemed to be more aggressive when they found somebody they want. They've been aggressive. And look, there's been a lot of people, I've seen it already on X, that think that Chris Oladokun was better than Justin Fields, and this was a stupid move. Look, people are just saying crazy stuff anymore. We all watched Chris Oladokun, man. We've all watched Chris Oladokun, and it's just, he's not that great. I would not want to see that happen. Just not going to put my eggs in the Chris Oladokun basket. I'm sorry. Just not going to do it. You may be there. I'm not. Can't get there. We'll never get there. Appreciate it. Shane in the house with a 2 says, "Up, brother Mike. Pretty decent signing. Me likey too, Shane. Me likey too. You know what? This little signing's got me feeling good.
I can feel it all the way down in my plums, getting all swollen, with a light blue hue to them, fresh and juicy, ready for the picking. Hey, that plum looks good. Can I trade it for your Twinkie? Let the juice spill down my chin. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? I'm liking it, Shane. Hope you're having a good day, brother. Appreciate the 2. Me likey says, Mikey likey says, now we can tush push with Fields. Hey, tush push away, I guess. I hate that play. Can we ban it? If that thing doesn't get banned this offseason, I'm out. Not watching football anymore if you're going to make me watch that crap. Get it out. I don't want to watch rugby. I'm not from Australia. Sorry, everybody watching from Australia. Support rugby, but it's not football and let's not have it. Don't need it. Witchy says, Oladokun, his best attribute is he can mimic opposing quarterbacks well on the practice squad. Absolutely. But it doesn't really necessarily, turn into nothing crazy. Freezy says, if you think Oladokun is better than Fields, you cannot be trusted. Absolutely. He's just what KY says. He's a great fourth quarter preseason QB. That's what Oladokun is. Good job, man. But yeah, I think Andy Reid, Bieniemy, everybody here will get something out of Justin Fields, and if he needs to get in there and play a little bit, I mean, I trust it. I trust it more than Oladokun again. I don't even know if Jake Haener is going to make this team. He could beat Oladokun out. He could, but he may not. And again, that doesn't really speak volumes for Jake Haener and or Oladokun. So, yeah, I'm with Orville here. Orville Oaten says Veach is going hard this offseason. I think he's having a pretty good offseason, man. Carl says he likes the move. 100% agree. Justin says he hasn't even been on a good team since college. Yeah, absolutely. There's something to being drafted into a good situation, being drafted with good coaches, a good team around you. I was talking to Bro Schmo the other day. He does a lot of draft content. Love Bro Schmo. Would love to have him on the show here soon. He's going to be coming on talking some draft like he does every year. And we were talking about the running back position and how teams just aren't equipped to take running backs. And that's why you get a lot of running backs in the first round. And they turn out to be kind of bust and people just don't think they're good picks. But we started talking about Jeremiah Love and how if the Chiefs hadn't got Kenneth Walker, was Jeremiah Love a good pick in the first round for the Chiefs? And absolutely he would have been, because if you look back over the last few years, the running back that won the most playoff games in his career, now again, this is a team building exercise. This is what we were trying to get at, was Clyde Edwards-Helaire. It was like insane how many playoff games. Clyde Edwards-Helaire won with the Chiefs. And again, it wasn't just Clyde doing it, but the point was that even as mediocre of a running back as Clyde was, in his first year, he was relatively productive, and if he wouldn't have had that injury, he could have had a better career than he did here, but he was nowhere near as good as some of the other guys. So it just proved that with even the Chiefs missing on a guy in the first round, he still proved to be productive because of the team around him. So that works with quarterback, that works with running back, everybody. You've got to be a well-established enough franchise and a solid enough franchise with people around you to make any pick look good. Again, you can get the best pass rusher in the world. Look at Myles Garrett, what he's been able to do. He is insane, but that's never been able to translate over to any kind of dominance or wins for the Cleveland Browns because they don't have nothing else around them. So it all takes, it's a full team sport, 100%. So Justin Fields has never been in a spot where it's just been, good for him, to be honest. JCP with a 3 says, Justin Fields, time to trade Mahomes. I'm with you, man. I think they'll trade him now. I think Mahomes is probably out in Kansas City. I think we may, if we're lucky, get like a 4th-round pick out of him after that knee injury. So we'll have to see, man. Let me know in the chat if you think Mahomes is probably gone now. I mean, they may trade him. Maybe the CFL will have him. I don't know. I have no idea if he'll even do it. Somebody in the chat said XFL. Possible. You think WWE will come back and start the you remember when WWE, or they may have been WWF at the time, when they started the whole XFL thing? That's wild. You remember He Hate Me, the running back? Kind of surprised we didn't pick him up in the offseason. My prescription Viagra is on screen. Where's it at? Wait, hold up. This one? Yeah, buddy. Hey, blue top for the blue chew. That's what's up. That is what's up. Yeah. Julia, some people don't understand the humor. Doesn't work. Oh man, I tell you. What's up, Kato? How you doing, brother? Hope you're doing good. Yeah, I appreciate all you guys being here. I'm probably going to go ahead and jump off. It's a little early. I didn't even plan to get on here. I got to go pick up my little nephew. Got to take him to a few places today. Got to pick him up from school. It's going to be fun. And, of course, Brett Veach gets up and he says, when's Mike the busiest he's ever been? He said, I will do a move, and I'll probably do a move afterward. So all day long is going to be really crazy. But I think I'm going to go do that. So I appreciate you guys being here with me. Yeah, I'm excited over this move. I think it's a decent move. It's better than anything they would have got in the in off free agency. In other words, Shane says if Mahomes joined the XFL, he'd have 12,000 passing yards, 120 passing TDs in one season. Yeah, and he'd better be able to take a suplex. Sammy with a 2 says fake field goals are back. Got Fields to hold Butker's balls, bro. Maybe he can kick too. Maybe we can get Butker's contract back down to normal. And you know what? I'm not going to be hard on Butker. He had a bad year last year. I think everybody had a bad year. I'm just going to go out on a limb. I'm going to say, look, it's okay. But I appreciate you guys being here. Y'all have a good one. We'll be back with more content. You know how it is. I may pop in on some lives. We're going to have a podcast up this week. Probably going to record that tonight. Talk about all the free agency moves. Now we've got this to talk about. So it's going to be a really good one. Shane with a 2 says, have a blessed day, Mike. Appreciate you, brother. Y'all too. Everybody here, have a blessed day. You guys have a good one. Go enjoy this Monday, this cold Monday. I don't know what happened last night, bro, but it got cold. You guys stay awesome. Be awesome. Go Chiefs. Justin Fields, baby. Justin Fields. I don't know what to tell you. Go Chiefs.